Hello, folks. This month we are going to talk about different types of email systems. It is important to understand the different types of email systems and the features they each have. Email has been around since about 1965, during the early days of the internet development. I first started using email at work around 1975. Use of email exploded when people started using the World Wide Web to access the internet. Many of us use email systems such as Microsoft Outlook, Windows Live Mail, Outlook.com, Gmail, Yahoo, Verizon, Comcast, Apple Entourage, just to name a few. Each of these systems has pros and cons that need to be considered. But first off, there are some concepts we need to understand. Two of these concepts are email client and email server. You may not know it, but you are using both of these programs when you access your email. Let's define both of these terms. Email client is a computer program that is used to access and manage a user's email. Your email client is running on your local computer. Your email client is used to compose your email and to send it to the email server. Your email client is also used to retrieve email from the email server and place it into your inbox. Now, the email server is a computer program that stores and sends email. Your email server is running at your email server provider site. Examples of internet email providers are Verizon, Comcast, Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook.com, to name just a few. Okay, we're going to look at an example using Yahoo email. For example, if your email is Yahoo, let's consider a few of the steps for accessing your email. You log into Yahoo using your browser. The interface that you are dealing with is the email client. When you access your inbox, you are connecting to the Yahoo email server, which is delivering the email to your client for viewing. Now here, we see the Yahoo inbox here. See this little arrow off to the right here? If I press that, that's going to force my email client to go out to the server, check if there's any email there, and present it to me in my inbox, okay? Now, when you compose an email message, you are creating the email in a window in your email client. The client is on your local computer. That's the system you're sitting in front of. So here I'm going to compose an email message, and we'll see two, and I'm going to send it to myself on another email system because I have too many email systems. This is the subject. Okay. Test of email from Yahoo. Okay, so I just composed this email on the Yahoo email client. Now I'm going to press send, and send is right down here, the big button, and I press send. Now, the email client just took the email I composed and sent it to the email server. So it transferred it from the email client to the email server. The email server, unbeknownst to us, has the job of routing this message to the designated recipient by using various internet services. Now, this operating paradigm is pretty much the same for when you're using any web email system. That includes Gmail, Verizon, Comcast. Uh-oh, I snuck in a new term, webmail. Okay, webmail has become one of the most popular types of email, but it is not the only type of email. Webmail is email that is available for use online and stored in an internet service mailbox. Webmail is not downloaded to an email program or used offline. Not downloaded to an email program is the key point here. This means that in order for you to access your email using webmail, you need two things. One, you need an internet connection. The internet connection allows you to connect to your email server. 2, you need a web browser. The web browser provides you the interface for accessing your email locally. And when we see here on my Yahoo page, the web browser that I'm using is providing me the interface for my email client. Now, if your internet connection is down, you have no access to your email. This is true of Webmail. This type of email uses a protocol called Imap. Imap stands for Internet Message Access Protocol. That's all you need to know about that for right now. Another type of email that is used is called POP email. This is an older type of email, but it is still in widespread use. POP, or POP3 email, stands for Post Office Protocol version 3. POP is used to retrieve email from a remote server and download the email to an email client for use offline. The idea behind POP mail is that it works like a post office. Email is delivered to your post office and then picked up by the recipient, which is you. Now, the key point here is that your email in a POP email is downloaded from the remote server to your local system. In order to access your email, you need 2 things. You need a connection to the remote server, and 2, you need an email client or email program to receive your email. POP email is used by some popular email clients such as Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Live Mail, Mozilla Thunderbird, or Apple Entourage, to name just a few. These email clients provide extensive features for storing and retrieving email on your local system. Okay, so now let's look at an example of a client interface that makes use of POP email. And here's the very popular Microsoft Outlook. You can see here Microsoft Outlook. It has a collection of folders here, my favorite folders, my inbox and sent folders, and then it has personal folders, okay? So instead of having a web interface for my email, here I have the Microsoft Outlook interface, okay? Now, a connection to the remote server does not necessarily mean a connection to the internet. Consider the case where employees at a company are using Microsoft Outlook. They connect to a central email server to send their email and to copy their email to their local email clients. Okay, now there's pros and cons to both systems. Webmail requires you to have a connection to the internet. POPmail requires you to have a connection to your remote server. With POPmail, your email is copied from the email server to your local system. This means if you lose the data on your local system, the email is lost. This is a key point. On the other hand, if you don't have access to the internet, you still have access to your email. So once your email is copied to your local system, you're able to read and create new email. You can do that locally. Now, with Webmail, your email is stored on the server, which is hopefully being backed up by your internet service provider, or ISP. Don't assume backups are being done. You need to ask and verify. On both systems, meaning POP and Imap, you can create folders that will allow you to categorize email based on various topics, people, or other labels that are meaningful to you. But you need to consider where these email folders are stored. In POP email, they are stored on the local system. So for instance, if we look back here on Microsoft Outlook, we see here I have a bunch of personal folders. These are stored on my local system right here in front of me. Okay? However, if I look at my Yahoo Mail, any folders that I have here, I have 2 folders, personal email and my reunion folder. These folders are stored on the server, okay? So once my browser goes away, I no longer have access to these folders, but the next time I connect to Yahoo, I will have access to my folders. Now, on both systems, there are various degrees of integration between your email, your contacts list, and your calendar. However, you should also consider where your calendar and contacts list is being stored. In a Yahoo-type webmail, your contacts and calendar information, those are also stored on the server. Whereas on the Microsoft Outlook POP3 environment, your contacts and calendar, right down here, those are stored local, okay? So those are differences. Truth be known, the functionality of Webmail or Imap and POP3 systems are converging in many areas. You can run a system that mixes both Imap and POP3 email. However, you need to consider what your system supports and how your environment is configured. These are just a few of the points to consider when you use your email system. In future topics, we will discuss more aspects of email, such as creating folders and creating contacts. However, for right now, you need to consider the general category of email you are using. A good assignment for you is to determine the type of email you have. Do you have POP3 or do you have Imap? The key point to ask yourself when using your email is, where is my email being stored? And where is my email being backed up? That's all for this month. You have a lot of information to ponder and some new terms to look up. Practice, 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 and we'll see you next month.